We back outside. We back outside. It's live. We live at two. It's two. Well, I'm late, but you know what we do. You know how we do. So good morning, good evening. What to do? How are you? Hooty hoo. Happy Tuesday too. I am the sound of money in your ear. Dollar bot. That's deals up below. I'm often imitated, never duplicated. They call me the $1 billion babe, aka the pitch queen, aka the people's coach, aka Coach Dollar Bill. And you are in the dollhouse. This is the home of high value entrepreneurs. Over here, it is day number 27 of this 100-day challenge, and we are all the way outside. So I have been working really hard. I got some coaches and some people to help me to get my life in order. And I'm so close. I'm so close to being super organized with all of this greatness that it's just pouring out of me for you guys so that it's easy for you to find. If you need a tool or resource or a worksheet or something to summarize, you'll know exactly where to go and find it. So I'm excited about that. I'm also excited because I think I figured out like where all these pieces go. So if you want all of the headlines and the, what's really going on, and there is a food shortage coming to the United States of America. Nobody's talking about it. Nobody's talking about it because we got time to yell again. We've been knowing. If you look like me, we've been knowing that they will pew pew and do that in the middle of the street and say, "Well, you're the problem. You're a criminal." Like this is not new information, and as horrible as it is, like we're being distracted. They are closing in around us, and we still have time. I hope we have 2, 3, 4 years. I hope we got time. I really do. But let's assume we don't. Let's assume the worst case scenario. So we talk about all of that. You know where that lives now? My Substack. So just go to dollavant.substack.com. You get all the commentary, all the history behind the headlines. I'll tell you what this greenlist stuff is really about. It's not about that. I'll tell you, like all the tariff stuff, what's really going on out here in the spirit of Marvin Gaye. It's literally called What's Going On. And that's over there on Substack. Also, like if you want to know, like, okay, I think I've heard some stuff about the US dollar and what's really going on, and it's crypto and what I need to be doing and XRP, and I'm not sure what does this all mean. I have a whole podcast, I don't know, a section of my Substack called The Great Escape, where we talk about things like crypto. And like, I have a network of people who have already left the United States. They're on the ground in different countries. It's like, well, if I do move, like, what country should I move to? Like, which do they like black people over there? Like, these are the things that we need to be talking about. I can't find nobody having this conversation. Searched all over, couldn't find nobody. I can't find nobody talking about this. They still talking about what 50 Cent them doing. Y'all, it's not 2005. We've got to start moving differently. So I'm hosting that conversation and all of my scholarship on my Substack. So that's where y'all need to go for that. YouTube, obviously, I go live on here every day, as well as in my Zoom, where you can interact with me. If you're in the dollhouse already, you can interact and get on the Zoom when I go live. But YouTube is also going to be for a lot of these frameworks and tools. Things I have learned. I have studied coaches, people who are blowing up on social media, people who got 44 million followers, people who are doing, I've shared the stage with some of these people. And so I would literally be like, so what are we doing? Like, how are you doing this? Or people who are like the founders, like the owner, the creator of like Patreon or whatever. I'd be like, no, what are y'all doing? What's going on with the algorithm? Like, so I have all the inside information, all of it. I've taken all their courses, the stuff they charge thousands of dollars for, all of it. And then I have my own set of frameworks, y'all know, that I teach, because I have not seen anybody teach this part. They teach a lot of tactics and tools and all type of stuff, right? But they don't teach you, like, how do I get this idea out of my head and like turn it into something that's making money for real? So I have an entire suite of frameworks that I teach. So some of that stuff is going to be on YouTube, but all of it is going to be on the vault, in the vault, rather, inside of the Dollhouse 2.0. That's our school community. So like replays of brilliant stuff. Like I might go live on YouTube, but all that stuff is coming down. Just access to things is inside of the Dollhouse 2.0. So we have a school community. We have our Substack for the commentary. School community is the vault. Substack is the commentary. And like what's happening currently. And then, of course, YouTube is where you can see like really straightforward information. I will do some glimpses of like my life or whatever. Not really my life, but like people have asked me for years to do behind the scenes, like when I go in meetings and stuff like that. I'm like, I'm not doing that. Like, who wants to do that? But apparently people want to see that. So I don't know, Instagram or something. We're getting off TikTok, but I'm gonna tell you why. But that commentary is on my Substack. So anyway, Thank y'all for being here. It's day number 27 of this 100-day challenge. And I wanted to give you, just a word on today, just a word. We're going to talk about systems and some things that you need to build to kind of leverage your business. I hope we get that far, but I want to talk about energy right now. What it means to be a high value entrepreneur. I dropped a little bit of that on our Substack or in our WhatsApp group. And I just want to finish that part because I think it's really important for us to understand why I talk about energy and frequency and identity and emotion all the time. Like, I'm not just being cute, something fun to do. When we get on our Thursday nights at 6:00 and I'm like, how do you guys feel? I'm not just asking, just like, hey, what's up? Like, we're hanging out. Like, we will hang out, but no, ain't nobody got time. When I ask that question, I'm asking because your frequency, how you show up in the world, what you do most frequently, literally becomes your frequency. And whatever frequency you're on, doesn't matter what actions you're taking, doesn't matter how many classes you take or how many business books you read, the frequency that you're on is going to determine what the outcomes are of those actions. So we need to understand how to intentionally set our frequency. And so there are 9 characteristics of a high value entrepreneur. And I want to talk about that because we don't do hustle energy over here. We are high value entrepreneurs. And if you understand what that means, it's going to separate you from about, I would say, a good 99.9% of people out here talking about they're starting a business. And it's going to keep you from doing all this struggle. We don't have to struggle. Just because we're an entrepreneur doesn't mean you have to struggle. So we're in addition to the tactics and the funnels and some of the things that you can learn here, because I do have so much value with that. But I'm also going to make sure that you are set in the proper frequency. So let's talk about it. We're not hustling. Hustling is not going to build you generational wealth. You want to build legacy. You want to actually feel good about what you did, not just do it at all costs type energy. Then let's talk about your heart. This is an electromagnetic field that is generated by your heart chakra, like right here. Because remember that you are an interface. As a human being, you're an interface between the unseen and the seen. That's why we all are walking around we can touch the wood and the walls, but also we have this whole experience that we know is real because we can see it on a brain scan. We can see things are happening, but you can't see it, right? And anybody who has a problem with me having this conversation in entrepreneurship group, I'm like, well, where did your idea come from? I can't see that. Where's that place? Take me there. Show me. Well, I don't know. It just came to me. Okay, so we got to go there. Let's find that place. Go there. And we got to get aligned in that unseen place first. And then I'm going to walk you forward so that you can go out here and make some money and give you all the tools to do it. Do you understand? So it's like when you play basketball, you have the outer game and you dribbling, passing, shooting, and do all that. But then they talk about, you got to have basketball IQ and you got to be in the zone. You got to put your head in the game and all of that. I want to talk about that part for a little bit today, and then hopefully we'll get to the levers. There are 5 levers in everybody's business. We talked a lot about one of them the last couple of days. So let's see how much we can get done, y'all, because I do have a hard stop and I want to respect your time. You guys have been rocking with me, some of you guys every single day, and I thank you and appreciate you so much. But doing that, if you have questions, as usual, you can just always drop them in the chat. And that way, I'll get to them when I can. But there are actually 9, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, the characteristics of a high value entrepreneur, and they go in order. This is actually an energetic match to what I talk about as the 9 steps of the entrepreneur's roadmap. That's the seen part. This is the unseen part of that. It's really cool. So check this out. Hold on. Let me make sure I'm not closing a window I wasn't supposed to close. I think I did. Hold on. Okay. No. Yes. Okay. There we go. Okay. So we have to be in a position where we're not playing anymore. When we understand just trying to do it and trying to force our way through it is not enough. It's not enough. And it's certainly not going to move us fast enough to get out of the way of what's coming. But just like these changes, we've never seen it before, really in human history, what they're trying to do right now, child, it's a mess out here. But also, this is the greatest wealth transfer in human history. So we can be a part of that flow if we go within. Do y'all know that that's what the tortoise and the hare is actually about? People make these little simplistic things like, oh, slow and steady wins the race or whatever. I don't know. I'm like, well, what if I'm fast? What if I'm fast and cute? Like, can I also win? It's not about that. It's not about the external, the way they teach that story. Look at the tortoise. He has a what? A shell. Do you know his greatest strength is being able to go within. The people that go within actually are going to go faster and win and be okay versus people who just out here trying stuff and hustling. Da, 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 da. So nobody ever told you that before. But that's what that's about. So stop looking at the tactics and all that stuff and let's go with it for a second. We'll talk about what a high value entrepreneur is. It's not about hustle. It's about your heart, the position or the frequency of your heart. Okay. So these 9 characteristics, here we go. The first one, and y'all hear me say this a lot, not all the time, but a lot in my intro. This is the home of high value entrepreneurs. I say that. And sometimes I say, we come from love. Y'all know that comes from a lyric from Kendrick when he was destroying Drake in the battle a couple years ago. One of his lyrics, he said, tell me who gonna stop me. I come from love. That's a really powerful thing to say. Love is actually the dividing line between like what we can see and what we can't see. Love, as above, so below, like all of that. It's love. It's proof of a coherent heart. Okay, it's love is not a feeling, it's a commitment. It's a lock. We're locked into a frequency. It's been proven in neuroscience now, physiology, when your heart is coherent, when you're not like, okay, I have this idea, but I'm not sure if am I worthy? Am I good enough? Can I make it? What if somebody else? Oh, everybody has this idea. There's too many people on YouTube. I can't get on there. What are they gonna think about me? That's a heart issue. But when you settle out of that and your heart gets coherent and congruent, it's been proven. This is science. Look at your neighbor, say science. It activates your brain and grants you access to your zone of genius. I'm not kidding. Literally. I'm not talking about follow your passion and all that. No, literally. There's an electromagnetic field. It's generated by your heart. Okay, this is this area. We call it not your physical heart organ, right? But this your heart. It's measurable, scientifically proven that there's energy that comes from whatever state of being that you're in that radiates about, what's 3 meters? How many feet is that? 6 feet? Is that why? Could that be why? During the pandemic, they talk about stay 6 feet away. What were they trying to do? That's a rabbit hole. See, that needs to go in my Substack. Make sure I'm not making this up. Yeah. It's actually a little bit more than 6 feet. That's about 9 feet. So there's something that happens when your heart is congruent, okay, and coherent. It activates your brain and taps you into the zone of genius. So now, if we learn how to do that on purpose, tap into your heart center on purpose, not just like, which means I'm tapping into my zone of genius on purpose, not just like I had a flash of genius and now it's gone. But like, what if you could do that intentionally all the time and then live there and operate from there and build from there? Do you think you could speed up in your business and like move a little faster and like hurry up and change some things? Yes, you could. You absolutely could. So operating from your heart center, being in alignment, like we talk about a lot, getting centered and all of that, it actually collapses the gap between this vision in your head of what you think you are, what you think you want to build versus who you feel like you are right now. When you just become one with that identity, that's what I mean when I say come from love. Okay, it's not an emotion, it's a frequency. It's a starting point. This is how you enter the creative zone. So So like it's like being in the red zone in football. It's like, okay, we're about to do something. Like it's right here when you get into this frequency. So all these other 8 characteristics flow from that, and that all of these combined is what's going to make your business. I can almost guarantee success as long as you don't stop. You're unstoppable as long as you don't stop. Um, so that's going to give you this highly profitable business venture that everybody wants. And now, have you ever looked at that word venture? Y'all know I love etymology. But only when I'm doing this, mind you, I don't read the dictionary or anything like that. But when I'm doing this and then I get these downloads and I'm like, wait a minute, you look up this word and it's all right there. It's all in the words. It's all in the words. Words are containers for energy. Like if you can decode the words that they say and do and things that they're doing, you can know what's going on. So anyway, the word venture comes from a Latin word. It talks about when you're taking a risk, you're daring, you're presuming something before you know if you can do it or not, you do it anyway. That's what a venture is, right? So like adventure, something that's novel, hopefully wondrous or exciting, something that you're doing in your life, right? So when we say business venture, we're like taking a risk now, but it's gonna be all right. That's what it means. And if you tap into love, this frequency, yes, you're taking a risk and you're taking a leap, but in that gap, that leap between what you know and what you don't know, as long as you're on a high frequency, you're guaranteed to make it to the other side. Like it's built, it's encoded in the thing, because that's what's gonna make the universe move all stuff and all the people in your path to get you where you need to go. That's how you got to the dollhouse. You know what I'm saying? So you can only take that leap and be successful from a place of love. If you take it from a place of fear or anxiety or I don't know, you're just gonna fall. There is a gap there. There's a gap, and we instead of falling, we just make it to the other side. Okay. So a coherent heart. You're coming from love. How do I know? Because I'm giving and I'm building and to give something to my audience, not to I need to get some money right quick. And we're giving from a place of overflow. Like you have something that's going to benefit people, like for real. It's not just like, okay, this they said this is going to make some money, so I get out here. It's just terrible energy. We do these MLMs, all this kind of stuff, horrible energy. And then people wonder why they don't make any money because your energy is bad. That's what he means. Money is energy. So you don't have to sell trying to survive and trying to make it and all of that. You can get to a place where you're serving people, providing solutions to people from a state of abundance. And that's really what I want for you guys, because it's the easy way. Now I'm not stressed out every day. I'm just winning every day. Because you combine that with the systems that we're talking about, it's a no-brainer. It's like, what are we talking about? Make the money, go ahead and do whatever else we want to do. Go do something else. Like, you don't have to spend all your brain power all day, every day, like, okay, well, I'm going to do this. When you make this shift. So coming from love, we're not hustling. We're not being transactional. It's transformational. Transactional, you show up and you're like, what do I need to do to get this person to give me some money? Or I hope they give me some money. Transformational is, what can I create? What can I give that will serve the highest version of showing up as the highest version of myself also serves the highest version of this person that I'm talking to. You're actually honoring their humanity by coming from love, if that makes sense. So it elevates your work. It elevates how you talk to people. It elevates the quality of these ideas that y'all are coming up with. It sharpens your intuition. And so you're moving at a higher frequency. Like I said, your phone starts ringing differently and people can literally feel it. It's visceral. So they're not just buying something from you. They're resonating with you. They're vibing with you. They remember you. They become a part of your community. And that's how you hurry up and get to network effects, level 3 of this video game of entrepreneurship, so that they go and tell other people about you while you at the house. You don't have to work this hard. You just show up in a high frequency, they're gonna do the work for you. That's how the Nikes and the Amazons and all these, they don't have to do nothing, because the story lives in the world as long as they don't break it. And we're going to talk about that in the end of these 9 characteristics. They're actually built into these frequencies. As long as you do these 9 things, not only will your business take on a life of its own, but you won't turn around and break it after you make some money and then you fall off and it's like, oh, what happened to them? Okay. We're not just selling a product, we're transmitting a frequency. So we start from love. But there's neuroscience. This is why I like talking like this, because I got receipts. I'm not just talking to talk. Okay. When you come from love, when you shift from a place of abundance, giving, overflow, focusing on the greatest, highest, that's what I want to do, not like desperate, need based, and contracting. It's an expansive energy. That's what I mean when I say love. Okay. Just expansive. That's all we're talking about. Most entrepreneurs are living in stress, right? They're living in survival mode. They're living in fight or flight. They're living in fear. They're frozen. They're paralyzed. They get frustrated. They can't make decisions, and they waste time. It's been 3-6 months. Somebody calls them and oh my God, I met this person at this event. And then you go home and 3 weeks go by and it's like, I don't know why I haven't called them back. I haven't followed up. Like, you're living in this tight, constrained survival mode. When you get on a Zoom call or you got a meeting coming up, you totally full of anxiety. Like, oh my God, I don't know what to do. It's just like, I'm all over the place. Da, da, da. Like, as if you're fighting off a predator. Like, your heart is racing, your breathing is shallow. It's not right. Okay, cortisol, the stress hormone is flooding your system. Things are not in alignment. That's how most of us are going through life. And then that's why we feel like, man, I need to take 2 weeks off. And you know what? I can't do it right now. I got to watch. And you binge watch Netflix. And then you go the Juicy Crab or Hookah Lounge. You spend $500 out your budget that you want to plan it because you're trying to feel better. You're trying to feel. You don't want to feel this stress every time you're like, oh my God, I got to make some money. Okay, started this business. It's been a year. I'm about to run out of my savings. I don't know what I'm doing. Da, 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 da. It's stressful. And that's because this is beating against it's closed. The system is closed. It's like stepping on the gas, but you got to brake your foot on the brake at the same time. So it's like, you want to do something, but it ain't going. And now this is stressful. Like, something's gonna break, right? And so if you don't have coherence, congruence in your heart chakra, okay, where you trying to do this work, your energy drops, okay, and that's something that we could literally measure on like a scanner, like a brain scan, or however they do when they scan the energy coming off of your body, electromagnetic things. You know what I'm saying? And those waves get incoherent. You know, like in science, like when something flows together, it's flowing together. Okay, so we got to flow. It's going. When things are going, when they're not coherent, that means they're going like this. And guess what they do? Psh, they cancel each other out. Psh. So your energy gets lower and lower and lower and lower. So every time you're in stress, you're literally depleting your energy. And what do I always tell y'all? Money is energy. So if you keep showing up in stress and anxiety and oh my God, and I don't know what to do, and I'm overwhelmed every day, and I can't do it. So you take a day off, take a week off. Child, I'm going over. I'm going out of town because I can't do this right now. We gonna figure it out later. Like, if you live like that though, it's going lower energy, lower, 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 which means you're not gonna make no money. I could predict it. That's why I could tell y'all, give me a 5-star pitch. I can hear where you are, your frequency, your confidence, everything. And I can tell you in 5 minutes, ask you 2-3 questions, in 5 minutes or less, where you are on the roadmap and if you're gonna make it. Like, I could literally tell you how much money you're gonna make based on where you are energetically. You know what I'm saying? So moving out of survival like that is dangerous. It's dangerous. It's not healthy, of course, but it's also affecting your ability to make money. So, how do we shift that? Instead, if we start our day, literally, how come nobody teaches this in an entrepreneurship program? You need to meditate. You need to start your day breathing, locking in. Do not start the day in a state of anxiety. You got to center all of that, calm down your nervous system, get to a state where you feel a sense of safety in your nervous system. Breathe deeply, relax, center down, and get out of your head. You got to drop down from your head. Okay, I got to do this, got to do this. Drop down here, right here. Relax into this centered, everything is everything, okay? The prophets done told y'all everything you need to know. I don't know what to say. I don't know what to tell you, okay? She said, use your heart. Okay, listen, when you shift from fear to a state of gratitude and start to operate everything you do, you can still have your to-do list and all that, but when you do it from a place of love first, something happens. Literally, this is energetic. It happens physiologically. We can scan it. We can prove it. Your heart, your physical heart now starts beating in a coherent rhythm. Do-do, do-do, do-do. Come on, music. Okay, like dropping pebbles in water is creating these perfect little ripples, like a beat of a drum in time. Okay, so when your heart gets coherent, it literally sends a signal to your brain. It collapses time. This signal, your brain reads this signal as it's okay. We're not in the past anymore. We're not scared of something that's happening in the future. It puts you in the present moment. It says the past is over. It is safe now to create. The signal goes, takes it to your brain. So now instead of you being, your brain's like, okay, oh my God, there's danger. Oh my God, anxiety. Oh my God, I'm behind. Oh my God, what do I do? Oh no, I got other stuff to do. That aroused reactive state, but these are high beta waves. Like you're just like, and it switches your brain to alpha waves. That's your creative state. Your frontal lobe literally lights up, and you start seeing things in pictures and images instead of like just waiting for something bad to happen and freak it out. And then I can't take it, so now I'm gonna take a 4-hour lunch break, and then I don't know why I spent $150 on lunch today, but it was fun. You were outside, you had your laptop, you were playing on Canva, you were pretending to work, you would, taking a little phone call here, talk to your friend right there, did all of that, right? But you didn't really get nothing done for real. You didn't get nothing done for real. So Desta had already did that math, y'all, way before I went and Googled it. So when your heart is coherent, it's out there. The energy goes out about 10 feet from you. But guess what? When it's not coherent, you could probably Google that. It's probably around 6 feet, if that. When most people are walking around in a state of anxiety. So anyway, thank you, Desta. So your heart is telling your brain, it's cool. We could do something. We can create now. We're fine. Everything's fine. We're fine. And so now your brain moves to a state of possibility. This is happening just by shifting to coming from love. Okay, this is the first energetic signature. This is a starting point. This is how you access your zone of genius, by having a coherent heart. You cannot create at the highest level unless you're coming from a place of love, safety, abundance. Okay. Now, the more you do this, the more awake your brain becomes. So now your heart is sending those waves to your brain. Now your brain is moving into these complex patterns. Now delta waves are bringing the theta waves, and everything is happening. Beta, and then you get to your gamma waves. This is super consciousness. They call this God state. This is where genius happens. You get downloads quicker. You tap into something beyond, what you've learned and what you've studied. And you're like, I don't know where this came from, but I know it's right. Aha, aha. And you're like, aha, you have all that energy. Just by shifting your state now. Now think about the ideas you can come up with, the strategies you can come up with. And like, you're moving differently. You know how they say an athlete is in the zone? This is the zone for entrepreneurs. I just taught you the secret. I can stop right here. Listen, you activate this state by relaxing into your heart, by getting your nervous system aligned and keeping it that way all day, coming from a place of love, abundance. This is neuroscience, y'all. So people who are high value entrepreneurs understand this. They know how to regulate their nervous system, drop down into, get their heart into a state of coherence, and create from this place of love, not fear, abundance, not lack, freedom, gratitude, not anxiety. Okay. So love is proof of a coherent heart. And that's what activates your brain. And now you're tapped into your zone of genius. This is the starting line. Everything else flows from here. Any questions about that? Mm-hmm. Good afternoon. Good afternoon. How y'all doing? How y'all feeling? What up, Kenneth? Good to see y'all on the streaming, on the Zooming, on the everything. Okay. So we're tapped in. Now we're tapped in. I just told you how to tap in. So you could take that and run. You could do it on purpose, not like, oh, I was inspired. You know how we do that? Oh, I was inspired. I was motivated. I got so much done. But then, the other time, 90% of the time, you don't feel like it. You don't feel like doing nothing, right? I'm telling you how to do this every day. Because why? The goal is to make money every day. Every day. So we got to get our energy right every day. I just told you how to do it. Man, how much is this worth? I know. I wish somebody had told me this. I had to learn it. I feel like I'm reading this book about samurais. That's how I feel. Did you know they say you couldn't be a samurai unless you had black blood? I don't know if that's true, but that sounds about right. Somebody let me know in the comments if you know anything about that. But anyway, there's a presence, like I that's why they put Yoda in the chat the other day, which was hilarious. Shout out to Chasey. It was that Micaiah as well, talking about Yoda. Hilarious. But the whole like Karate Kid, wax on, wax off. I'm always like, do it again, do it again, do it again, do your pitch again. And you be like, why are we doing it again? Like, I already did it. But somewhere in that, then it's like, and you get it, and you're like, oh, I get it now. Like, that's what I want for y'all. So this is what the dollhouse is designed to be. It's a space. So y'all look for a link somewhere. Like, if you want to hear me talking like this every day, just like subscribe or go to the WhatsApp, the free mass, go somewhere, go to my Substack, do something. Okay. Here's the second characteristics. There are 9 of them. Okay. So this is important. If we don't get to the other part today, we'll do it tomorrow. But this is so important because you got to set your energy intentionally every freaking day. Okay. She did another Yoda. Desta said, you really could drop the mic right now. That's what 99.9% of people are not doing all this, so they can't flow. And then Micaiah, she got another Yoda in the chat. That's like the highest thing y'all can say to me. Because I know I sit in the seat of the ancestors when I'm talking, but I also know how to tap into my zone of genius. That's why I'm telling you, I'm like, listen, I did this already. I built a business that's valued at 8 figures. I'm already outside. I don't have to do none of this. I'm coming back to tell y'all so y'all can hurry make some money so we get out the way because they play it in our face. I'm letting you know it's the end of America as we know it. And you don't want no parts of what they have planned for you. So we need to hurry make some money so we can get some assets and leverage that assets and move out the way. That's why I'm doing this. You know what I'm saying? And they started calling me Harriet Tubman. I said, this is hilarious. I mean, if Harriet Tubman looked like this, she might have had a different problem. I don't know. But we are about to be okay. The babies are going to be all right. You're going to be able to take care of your family and do what you got to do because there's no other answer. Y'all, if you go to my Substack, this week, by the end of this week, it's going to all be on there. When I tell you what is actually being planned, if you've heard people say, oh, he's going to do the Insurrection Act, he might, but he might not. If he doesn't, it's even worse than we thought. It's even worse than we thought. You know how they say, oh, he's having health problems, or the 25th Amendment or whatever. They're not going to do that. But, if he were to not be the president and Mr. Vance becomes... Listen, I can't tell y'all everything because I'm streaming live. I want you to know that it will be worse. And they're probably going to get it done anyway. It's probably too late. So the only solution, the only way that we're going to be all right is to go inward. I'm telling you. I remember when we had the event, March 29th. That was the last time we all got together on purpose. We did a couple pop-ups since then. And that's why you need to get into WhatsApp, because if I'm popping up and pulling up somewhere, we just meet in person. We just pop up. We just outside. Okay, but anyway. And I was telling them what's coming. I sounded much crazier then than I do now. Because I'm telling them 2-3 years in advance, y'all, this ain't going to end well. Like, we need to do something. We need to get out the way. America's over. It's over. And I was like, how many of y'all have been feeling like you need to leave America or like get some land and get a compound and move out the way somewhere? And everybody literally raised their hand. And I'm like, okay, so I'm telling all this stuff. I'm telling the history of how we got here. And then they're like, well, what do we do, dog? And the answer sounds too simple. That's how these, Yodas be talking, I guess. The answer is follow your intuition. Go inward. Because there is a path, you have an inner GPS that's going to guide you exactly where you need to go, where the money is, what all of the things. But if you don't learn how to do this, if you believe that that's weird and that has nothing to do with you being all right, you're going to get caught up. But if I teach you the science and I can change your beliefs so you actually believe that if you go within, then you can stay calm, and you can keep your family calm and it's not in anxiety, and your wife, your husband won't be running crazy when these headlines, when it comes to your city, y'all. ICE has moved to Atlanta, Georgia. They got a headquarters in College Park. They are coming for next out here. I hope you have your passport. I hope you have your papers on you. You know what I'm saying? They already been running wild in LA and Maine and Trenton, New Jersey, and all in Texas. And we know about Portland, Oregon. They went to Portland, Maine. They are in Minneapolis. Of course, I know they've been in San Francisco playing and doing all this. Well, welcome. If you thought they weren't in Georgia, they already were in Gainesville and doing all that. Down in South Georgia. They're in Atlanta, Georgia. And I want you to know that the 75 countries that Trump has said as of February 1st, you can't be here. It's not that, well, I'm an American citizen, like, It don't matter because you look like them people from all them countries. And these folks are walking down the street with permission from the Supreme Court to say, you look like you're not from here. And they could pull you over or stop you on the side of the road and go through all these changes. Like it's 1955 in Alabama. We're back to that. So if we don't learn how to go inward and get ourselves together, I feel like Claire Huxtable, we're never going to have anybody bringing us anywhere to place anytime ever. Like we got to get it together. It's on us. It's on us. So we got to go with it. So there are 9 characteristics. Here's number 2. It's joy. Okay, y'all know the song, This Joy I Have. They were trying to tell you something in the song. The prophets have told us everything we need to know in the song. We got to have a frequency of joy. This is about inward focus. So once your heart is coherent, your brain is activated, the next characteristic emerges naturally. It's joy. And I'm not talking about happiness. Let me tell you the difference. Happiness is dependent on what? What happens to you, external circumstances. Joy, however, is proof that you have shifted your consciousness, which is the same thing as awareness, which is the same thing as your frequency, because you live there. That's your identity. It's based on your beliefs. And what you do most frequently becomes your frequency. And if you stay at a frequency long enough, it's going to materialize just like steam. And you turn it and put it in a cold room, it's going to turn into ice. If you hold that frequency, it's going to show up in your life, period, point blank. What are we talking about? So joy is proof. If you're not in a place of joy, then I already know. But if you have joy around your work, as opposed to, oh my God, I got to do all this work. I got to build systems. If you're doing that, you don't have joy. That means your consciousness has not shifted. Joy is proof that you have moved your awareness, your consciousness to be focused on the inward process, not external validation. Not, I don't see no money. I called 3 people, nothing happened. You looking outside. No. Joy, you're locked in the cocoon. I love it here. I'm locked in because you know, we're going to get to it. Okay. Joy is the emotional state of somebody who is locked in. The womb of the work is what I call it. You can't be peeking out, talking about, is it time for me to be born yet? No, you in the womb. You cannot be seeking money or value or validation outside of yourself. It's not outside of you. It's not running to meatballs and alcohol and all these events and doing all of that. It's go within. This is the first thing you need to do as an entrepreneur. Is go within. So joy is what locks you in. If you have joy, if you love the work, if you're like, oh my God, my pitch is getting better. Oh my God, I get to talk to 3 people today. Oh my God, I talked to these people and they were excited about what I'm doing. Oh my God, like you have joy about it as opposed to, oh my God, I got to call people and I'm nervous. Like I can't, like I don't know what to. You got to switch all of that. You got to get into meditation. You got to deal with your anxiety. You got to do some healing until you can find a place of joy. Okay? Because when you are locked in and doing this work, you won't get tired. You know, if you grew up in church, it says, let us not be weary in well-doing. For in due season, it says, we shall reap. If what? If we faint not. You will get tired if you don't have joy. You will get what they call burnout. All entrepreneurship, everywhere you go, every magazine you read, they're going to be talking about burnout. I don't experience burnout because I love what I'm doing. I love this. I love it here. What do you mean? I love the dollhouse. I have a great community. I love it here. This is fun times. Y'all sent me these testimonials. I had tears. I was like, oh my God. Like, I love it here. I'm just sharing my heart with y'all. And then, we make a connection. It's up, hey, I'm making it better for you. Wonderful. I get to do this work. I get to do this work. You know what I'm saying? At the intersection of neuroscience, philosophy, and psychology, and history, quantum physics. Who's doing that? Like, who's doing that? I get to do this every day. I'm a Harvard-trained historian and economist, and I get to use that for something that's going to help somebody to look like me. What are you talking about? Like, I already saved the world's water. We got that a lot. We got a team working on that now around the world. We're raising 150. It was 100 million. It's $150 million fund, so that when they start playing with y'all's water, they say we're in water bankruptcy now. Google it. They start playing with y'all. We're gonna come in with capes, Ghostbuster suits. And we're just going to land wherever there's a problem, and we're going to show up and make sure we got some water to the people. That's what I get to do. There's joy in that. You know what I'm saying? So when you think about that old song, this joy I have, the world didn't give it to me. The world didn't give it. And guess what? That means the world cannot take it away. It comes from within. It's the same joy you have when your vision materializes. You don't wait. Is somebody here who went to church? My PK is coming out today. They said, don't wait till the battle is over. They said, shout now. Think about if you were pregnant or somebody you know is pregnant. You're not waiting. You're not waiting till the baby comes to have joy. People are excited. They're running around. They're shopping. They're telling everybody we're having parties. We got showers. We got gender reveals. They're going crazy with the gender reveals. They're doing too much. It's too much. Don't be playing. Sometimes they trick them and it's not right. It's not right. But you don't wait for the baby to be born to feel joy. You have joy through the process, during the journey, right? So this is the energy of a high value entrepreneur. The joy is in the journey, not just the destination. You have to make this shift, you guys. This is a part of you actually getting there, is making this energetic shift. Okay, so when you come from joy, your work becomes art. Everything you do becomes art. It's like, ooh, that was amazing. Wait a minute, that was awesome. Hold on. Okay, it becomes an energetic signature. So it's not just the athletes and the actors and the musicians out here among us that get to feel this feeling. We too can feel this feeling. You're a creator. You are a creator. You're taking something from the unseen realm. Where did your idea come from? Show me. You can't show me because you can't see it. So if you bring that into the world, you're a creator. This is a high calling. Okay, so when you do it from a place of joy, what you do becomes art. It's an energetic signature, your DNA, your thumbprint. You're like, I was here. I did that. Aha, look at that. I did that. You know what I'm saying? It's your legacy. So think about the difference between eating food that somebody kind of threw it together and you could tell they were mad, and they threw some nasty food, versus food that your grandmother them used to make and they in the kitchen half the day and they singing, or the family's around while we cooking dinner and stuff, making it with love. You could tell the difference. You could taste it. You could feel it. So the energy in which we do the things that we do as entrepreneurs is actually going to determine our outcomes. So it's not just about feeling good and all of that. It's actually a commitment to the internal process of creation. This is how we focus on not just what we're building or what we're trying to get from people. I need some money, man. I got to get it from me. No, that's the wrong focus. When you shift your focus inward and focus on the person that you are becoming, that's how you tap into joy. Because in this life, in this journey of entrepreneurship, you are not going to get what you want. You get who you are. Okay, so we focus on who we're becoming, not what we're trying to go get. And that's going to trigger joy. When you operate from joy, other people can feel it. They're drawn to it because it's magnetic. It's built in, it's baked in, it's encoded. If you move like this, you will naturally not have no problem with people trying to, follow up with you and work with you and do all of that. You won't have to be struggling and concerned like, oh, I can't find any customers. Like, make the shift. Okay. Third characteristic is peace. From love comes joy. From joy comes peace. Peace is the most powerful posture. Okay. Peace. What do I mean? When I talk about being detached, this is what I'm talking about. There are all these scriptures that say, let not your heart be troubled. Peace be still is the famous story, famous song, James Cleveland. Speaking to the troubled water. Hey, peace. Hold on. Peace is the regulation of your nervous system. It's about stillness. And there was a Roman emperor. He said, nowhere can man find a quieter or more untroubled retreat than in his own soul. So when you're still and peaceful, not like, okay, I did this thing and now I'm nervous. Now I'm waiting. Okay, I got to see. Are they going to call me back? Are they going to read the proposal? Like, like what's going to happen? Like, I had this idea and is anybody going to like it? No. Peace. This is how we tap in again to that creativity. This is how we stay in motion and stay calm. But it's more than that. We're not concerned. We're not bothered. We're not panicking. We're not Trump. I was supposed to get $3 or something like that, $3-4 million and 7 people from government funding, House Appropriations Committee, the whole thing last year. Trump shut all that down. Think about the big child. I was like, okay, what we doing now? Because I know where it comes from. The value comes from me. I am the value. Same energy that produced that opportunity has Senator Warnock them call it ready to do some things. Okay, we gonna do another one. I don't have to panic. I don't have to be anxious. I plant seeds. Then we're farmers, y'all. We plant seeds. We go home, chilling. We trust the process. They ain't gonna grow. You make sure no weeds get in there, and you're moving on. It's fine. And that's what separates amateurs. Just like somebody playing basketball, an amateur from a professional. Anybody who's a professional at something, that means they get paid to do it. Okay. We want to get paid to be entrepreneurs. We don't want to be amateur entrepreneurs, just running around, going to events, going to networking and going here and going there to programs and get certifications. We look kind of crazy, to be honest with you, because the W's out here are not moving like that. If they're gonna start a business, they start a business, like, which makes money. We just run around for years talking about I'm in business. No. So amateurs are very attached. They're desperate. It's like, okay, I met this person. Okay, oh my God, I had this meeting. Now I just need this to come through. You know what I'm saying? So I blah, 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 blah. You're always checking your bank account every hour, waking up in the morning. Oh my God, I don't have enough. Oh my God, my rent. What's the 27th? Oh my God, you're just constantly, you're looking at your analytics. Oh, I put this post up and only 2 views. You're panicking when things don't happen fast enough because you're still looking outward. But a professional is detached. They do the work. They make the shot. They trust the training. You know what I'm saying? I do this. Like, have you seen a basketball player? They make the shot and they turn around and walk away before they even know if the shot went in. Listen, y'all better trust the universe. Let the universe cook. We need to know as farmers. We did what we're supposed to do. We got the training. We got the right seed. Put it in the ground. The harvest is going to come. It's going to come. It's doing what it's supposed to do. This comes from a regulated nervous system. When you operate from a place of peace, you don't have to oversell. You don't have to chase people down and try to make them clients, do all that. You don't have to beg somebody, keep discounting and lowering your price. And well, how about this? How about that's just not your client? How about that's not your client? You don't want certain these people. You don't want them as your clients. If the deal doesn't go through, I promise you on God, you don't want it. If you got to go through all these hoops and go through all these changes and push and hustle and grind and make somebody do something, usually that's going to be the worst client in your life. 9 times out of 10, the energy's bad. If the values don't align, you don't want it. Okay. So you have a sales conversation, you ask the questions, you listen, you let them talk, and then you put your value in there and you let it go. Let the universe cook. You ask them, you're talking in a sales meeting and it's like, well, it sounds like y'all need me. That's what I'm hearing. Sound like there's an opportunity to work together. And that's why I always say, what we doing? It's like, you want to do it? I mean, we doing it or not? It's fine. And you stop talking. That's peace. There's power in that stillness, in that silence. Okay. You don't have to do all the rest of that. Now, when you can show up in this energy, this is what's beautiful. People start to feel safe with you. They will trust you because they know that you're not desperate. They know that you're operating from a place of abundance. And every time it's been proven, that is when they are more likely to say yes to whatever it is you're offering them. When you calm down and stop, okay, oh my God, okay, I got a meeting, girl. Oh my God, it's a big meeting. Y'all better cut it out. Like, all this stuff is cute, except it's ruining your business. It's why we're not making money for real. Versus, this is what I do. I'm showing up. I'm prepared. Like all the systems that we've been talking about in the 100-day challenge, the things that you know to do, you got in there with your coach, you ran the plays, you did the scrimmage, you did the work, you came in the gym at 5 a.m., you did 1,000 free throws. We're ready. So it doesn't matter if it's the first game of the season or if it's NBA championship game 7, and we tied up in the fourth quarter with 2 minutes left or whatever. It doesn't matter. We're trained for this. This is the highest frequency. This is a place of power, okay? And when you show up like that, you get better outcomes. It's not passive. This is a place of power. And that stillness is the place from which all creation emerges. Okay. Characteristic number 4. Y'all got questions? Put them in the chat. Is patience. Okay, we hear this word. It's overused. And nobody really unlocks the power of said word. So let's talk about it. Oh, you good, Kenny? You good? You good? Somebody said amen. We got amens in the chat. Okay. Hands up in the chat. That's what I'm talking about. Patience, y'all. in the King James Bible, they call patience, they translate it as long suffering. It means to, and we're not trying to suffer, but it means to go a long distance, even in the midst of an offense. And let me tell you, think about the word offense, like an offensive. Like if you were in a war, if somebody's coming at you, or like in sports, because entrepreneurship is a game. When somebody's coming at you, that's an offensive. Like you got the offensive line and the defensive line, right? So if they're coming trying to score, that's an offensive. So when you're building something new as an entrepreneur, you're literally, because we just shifted our frequency now, so that means you're literally now battling the old version of yourself. The old version of your reality. Okay, before it was like, I don't know how I'm gonna pay my bills, I don't know what I'm doing. My mama said I wasn't gonna make it, I'm running out of savings, all of that energy. You shut that down. We're coming from love, joy. We're gonna lock in on this work. Peace. I'm detached. I'm not gonna let nobody turn me around. As my daddy used to say. Now there's patience, because you're still kind of under attack. You're still gonna kind of look at your bank account and it don't really look like it need to look right now. You still got like some doubt, maybe, you've never done this before, maybe got a little anxiety or fear, old beliefs, right? People who don't understand what you're doing, who are around you, you know what I mean? That's coming at you. So patience is the quality of being able to withstand and hold that same frequency that you're on in spite of those adversities. Being calm in the face of that. Because why? You are submitted to the mission. Submission means I'm under the mission. I'm going this way. Doesn't matter that they're like, yeah, you can't do that. Girl, why are you going that way? Don't nobody go that way. Girl, you had a good job. What are you doing? All of that. I'm going this way. What you mean leave America? We'll be fine. 2028. Okay, I'm going this way. That's what patience is. Okay. Think about it. When you tell your child to be patient, you're going on a long road trip, and it's like, I need you to sit in the car. You got your games, you got your snacks, got your Capri Sun. Yeah, we're coming up with a vegan version of Capri Sun, because they got all kind of stuff in there that's not good for the babies. So we got to come up with something that's healthy for the babies. But you got your tablet. You got your headphones. Hey, and so 2 hours in the trip, they're like, well, are we there yet? No. Are we there yet, Papa Smurf? No. Is it much further, Papa Smurf? Yes, it is. Okay. You're like, we're not there yet, but we will be. I need you to sit down and let me drive this car. Trust the process. Okay. That's patience. That's what that child needs to learn. Sit down and just, if we keep going this way on 20 West, we will end up in Alabama. Like, it's going to happen. You know what I'm saying? That's patience. And so that's where maturity and character and growth are birthed. Okay. Because we're in a cocoon now. You're locked in. You're in this car. Like, you can't just jump out the car and like, well, why are we not in Alabama yet? Because you keep jumping out the car. I need you to sit. Hey, we are farmers. I need you to hear that differently every time you hear that. We are not consumers. We're not employees. We don't work for 8 hours and then be like, hey, where's my check? Consumers, they want instant gratification. Okay, I just gave you $5. Give me my coffee. I gave you $200. Give me my stuff right now. That's a consumer mindset. High value entrepreneurs are investors. We're farmers. We plant seeds. We water the thing. We wait for we got to finish the trip. Okay, we trust the harvest. We trust that we're locked in to the destination, and the system is going to do what it do. Let the universe cook. So when you have patience, you're not looking for immediate results. And this is how you speed up your results, by stop looking, stop opening the oven door and then wonder why your cake won't cook. Hey, so we can't be panicking when the money doesn't show up right away. Because if you hold the frequency, I'm telling you, like people say miracles, miracle is fine. You call it what you want to call it. I'm telling you that if you hold this frequency, stuff starts happening differently. Your phone will ring differently. This money come. I don't know where this money came from. It's here now. I thought this bill, oh my God, it was the end of the world. Turned out they just gave you a 2-month extension. It's fine, sir. Actually, we're fine. You know what I'm saying? Like, stay on the frequency. Things that are, air quote, not supposed to happen, start happening. I'm telling you how our ancestors made it. Y'all, when you think about Marvin Sapp, you made me think of it. Never would make. Listen, when we think about what folks have been through, think about, okay, the KKK is back. Okay, civil rights is a bubble that has burst. They are outside with masks. Remember the hoods? Same thing. They outside just walking around and doing whatever and knowing with total impunity. Our ancestors lived like that for centuries. How, Sway? Like how? But we still making music and great, inventions, and we're building city and wealth. We can't do that now. What were they doing? How did they do this? They were operating from a higher frequency. And I submit to you that all this poison in our water from Flint, there's 4,000 Flints in the United States. All this food, we can't get no fresh food, all these food deserts. We eating all this Popeyes. They cloned Tyrone. They told y'all. Okay, all of this in the air. If they spray one more time, y'all, what are these rockets? Are you seeing the rockets? Those are not clouds. What is going on? I submit to you that all of that was designed, plus all of the garbage in the entertainment, all the music, just the frequency just got lower, to lower our frequency so that we could not overcome this adversity out here. Why could they build community and build wealth 100 years ago? Black Wall Street was burned down in 1921. We couldn't build a Black Wall Street today if we tried. They are trying. We can't do it with all of our technology, all of our education, all of our athletes, and we got money. We got millionaires, and we can't do it now, and they could do it then. Why? It's the frequency. I'm telling you. So anyway, I need to write an article about that. Follow me on Substack. So when you have patience, you're not looking for immediate returns. You're locked in. You're trusting the frequency. You're trusting the energy. Okay. You're not panicking when you don't see something, 2 weeks after you started and quitting after 3 days and all that kind of stuff. But more importantly, you understand compound interest. You understand delayed gratification. They were coming from a different worldview. They moved us to an individualistic society where it's like, I can do what I want to do. And you don't have to learn this stuff. You don't have to be at a high frequency because the system is there. The consumerism is there. I could just go to the store and buy it. I could just, the system is going to send me a check. I go to college, get a job, I don't have to be at a high frequency. They made an artificial system and got us all on that system. Before, they were living by community, which only works if we're all operating by these principles. You know what I'm saying? I am because you are. Like, I'm doing well, and when I do well, we all do well. Like, so I'm going to do my best because I know it affects everybody. Like, we're thinking about the whole, the collective. We don't do that no more. So let's go back to that, right? Understanding delayed gratification, understanding that the most valuable things take time to build, and it's fine. It comes from staying in the present moment. So you cannot succeed at entrepreneurship if you have an individualistic and consumeristic and employee mindset. It's not going to work. The place is always here. The time is always now. So you can't be worried about tomorrow because we're supposed to be fully present today. That's what joy did for us. Joy already put us in the present moment. Now you're going to jump out. If you're staying in the present moment, of course you're going to be patient. Let this process finish. Because I'm having fun right now. It's great right here where I am right now. So what are we rushing? We're here. We're now. I'm going to feel the same feeling that I get there as I feel right now. So let's just enjoy the now. So you don't have to be anxious about the future, anxious about tomorrow, because you're focused on handling what's in front of you right now. There's so many people like, if you just play basketball for the joy of the game and you 12, it's kids out here in 3rd grade with Instagrams and they got scouts already or whatever. But if you start playing for the joy of the game and as a young kid, you stand out there dribbling till the sun go down till you get in trouble. Why? Because you love it. That's how you get great enough to be in the NBA. It's going to happen. You're going to be one of the best players on your varsity team, and you're going to get recruited and scouted, and you're going to go to the best college, and you're going to win the championship or whatever because you have joy. You're locked into what's happening right now. But if you don't develop the skills now, because you're like, oh my God, I want the NBA, I want my check, where my money at? NIL, like all of that stuff is going to ruin our kids because they're going to be more focused on who got more followers and all these external metrics instead of just locking into the joy of developing as a person, as a human, and as a player in the now. Anyway, this is power. This is clarity. It's how you collapse time. When you're present and patient, you start to make better decisions. You don't jump into bad partnerships trying to hurry up and make some money right quick. signing contracts and signing your whole company away, talking about, oh, they're going to give me an investment. No, they're not. That's desperation. You don't have to do all that. You don't have to discount your prices because you're scared, you're nervous, and oh my God, I need to do that. You don't have to chase every shiny object and every opportunity. It's not for you. You don't have to be in every room. Everybody doesn't deserve your presence. You know your value. You hold the frequency. You trust the process. Let the universe deliver in its own time. Okay. So that's what I mean by patience. It's with the willingness to endure the journey, to let that process complete, to stay submitted to the mission even when it gets hard. And that's what builds character. That's what creates the version of you who can handle, who has the capacity to handle this harvest that you say you want. Because I can give you all this money right now. If you don't have a container to hold it, it's going to go straight to your hand and fall in the ground and go back and seep, and you're not going to have nothing left. That's what happens to lottery winners. That's how they end up broke within 2 years. You don't need money, okay? If you get on the frequency, you can't help but have money. So stop seeking money and shift your energy, okay? Characteristic number 5 is kindness. Kindness. It's not what you think it is either, okay? Kindness is about identity and about doing what's in your nature to do. So if you stayed on this track of patience and you're locked in, and you're showing up, you're doing the work, and you're finding joy, you're learning new things, okay? You're learning stuff. You're coming up with stuff that you never would have thought. Oh, I got it. I need to go to the end. You don't know what you don't know until you go. When you get there, you get more creative, more stuff comes to you, right? When you stay there, something crystallizes in your identity. You realize, hold on, it's not just Doll saying this. Hold on, I'm the value here. I'm the value. And when you know that, not just like somebody told you that, but when you know it, you embody that, you actually start to establish standards, boundaries that are non-negotiables for you. So I don't mean like some fake stuff. I mean like it's palpable. So like there's a difference between being kind and being nice. We don't do nice. Okay? Nice is saying yes, we don't mean to. When you don't really mean it. You mean no, but you say yes because like, okay, I need this money, so let me just, okay. Nice is when you're letting people walk all over you, not enforcing your boundaries, doing all this work for free because you hope somebody gonna, all of that. Nice is trying to avoid conflict because you want everybody to like you and all the nobody. Turn to your neighbor and say, ain't nobody got time. We don't have time to be showing up like this. We don't have time. Do I have myself double booked today? Looks like I do. I'm gonna fix that. Okay. We don't have time. There's no time. Kindness allows you to set boundaries, saying no when you need to, telling the truth even when it's uncomfortable, walking away if it's not a good fit for you. It's like nobility, like a king or a queen, walking in your power. You're glad to meet people, happy to serve, but not at the expense of your integrity. Kindness is you knowing your value. And because I am the value, every aspect of me attracts value. So I don't have to take everything that's offered to me because that's why I can have boundaries. You know what I'm saying? I don't have to run and chase after every little thing, do every little thing that's asked of me. No. I don't do that. No. You don't have to discount your prices. You have to work outside the scope of a thing just because the client is pushing you to do that. You don't have to chase people down who don't value you, don't value your time. Okay? So you can be kind, but not nice. Respect yourself enough to require respect from other people. Now, this is not just woo-woo, y'all. I'm getting to the good part. If you start doing this, people will respect you more. They will stop telling you lies to your face, talking about, oh, yeah, this is what we're going to do, and then they don't do it. They won't play in your face, okay? Because they can feel that you respect yourself, and that becomes magnetic, okay? So kindness is in your nature. This is when you become rooted in this. It's who you are. It's part of your identity. Somebody who knows their value, and now you live in that energy. And that's where you create from. Now we're rooted, okay? Now we got some identity shifting. Boom. Now here we go. From this place, now we're going to create this product that you keep talking about, okay? So the 6th characteristic is goodness. This is the embodiment of this value. Okay, this is a tangible expression of your value, a demonstration of the value. Okay, goodness is something that you can tangibly see or express that will have a positive impact on whoever receives it. That's why in English we call what you sell goods and services. This is your product or your offer, and it gets clearly defined. You can answer the question, exactly what am I selling? Exactly what is my offer? Exactly what am I creating? Not just, I have all these great ideas and da 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 da. I know I'm smart and I have da 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 da. I know I can help somebody and da da da. I want to help people. Blah blah blah. What is that? What is that? I can't. What is that? I can't do anything with all this abstract humanity. Okay, we have to now put it in a form, something that's repeatable. Number one, but something that can be exchanged in the marketplace, because we live in a capitalistic society. Okay, we don't live in a community where everybody just knows you a tribe and it's like just go to the guru, just go sit before him and he will help you. Like, we don't live in that kind of society. So you have to define what this goodness is if you want me to exchange value for it. Okay, because if there's ever going to be a future transfer, if somebody's going to pay you money, then they need to know exactly what it is that they're getting from you in exchange for the money. Okay, so goodness is a demonstration or an embodiment of a skill, an expertise, something that can stand over the test of time or long distances, something that could be repeated, something that could be objectively described as valuable. Even if you're a consultant, you've got to define, what does that mean? Not just hire me to come in and think for you. Because until you get to network effects where everybody knows who you are and they'll just pay you money to just show up and just think, you have to define what it is that you're going to do. I heard that you were the best, but what am I getting in exchange for this money? You have to define it. That's something that's excellent, fine, valuable, desirable, favorable. This is the etymology of the word good. Beneficial, full, entire, complete. You've got to have a product or an offer, not just, I'm here, I'm smart, and I'm available. That's why you're not making no money. Okay. So again, we don't have to do that from a place of desperation. We don't have to do it from a place of need or lack. Let's say it that way. Not what can I do to hurry and make some money right quick? No. From a place of love, joy, peace, patience, kindness. Now we got goodness. Okay. By the time you get to goodness, you're not creating from a place of need. This is from a place of overflow. Okay. You started to give you in kindness. You were talking to people, talking to humans, doing all that. So now you know what they want. You know how to just define it, right? Express this value that's already in you. And when you create from this place, your product that you create is going to be excellent. It's going to be amazing, because this is all an extension of that coherent heart where we established that in the beginning. This is it. So now goodness, your goods, the product that you're going to be selling, this is just the embodiment of that coherent heart and everything that you learned along this journey that we've been on. Okay, this is the tangible proof, something that people can experience that demonstrates your value. This is the part where the thing that's been invisible this whole time, I keep saying, where did your idea come from? We don't know. We can't see it. It's in the unseen realm. This is where it becomes visible. This is where something that's pending, you make a deposit in your bank account, but you can't get the money out yet because it says pending. This is where it becomes posted. Boom. It's real thing now. It's tangible. I can look at it, touch it. We got product specs. Okay. It's a thing now. But everything that came before is what makes this thing. It's what makes Apple Apple. It's what makes people just saw the product and they just wanted it. Moonjug has that effect. People can't figure out why. They see the bottles and they come and stand. They just look at them. They be like, it's water, y'all. And they be staring at it like, ooh. Y'all remember how it used to be when you would see an Apple product or like something new, or like even the packaging of Apple, you just like, it's just like out of box. Now, mind you, I'm not going to give up my Apple products because it's too late. I mean, it's over with. I'm just telling you right now, it's over with. But do you know that while everybody was mad because Mr. Alex, what's his name, got executed or whatever in the street, that same night, guess who went to the White House for dinner? Tim Cook. Okay, but anyway, that's public record. It's neither here nor there. I'm just saying, the way that the product makes you feel, all of that comes from them having done this deep work first, and the product is birthed out of that. Okay, it's where the invisible becomes visible and the pending becomes posted. Okay, got 3 more. Characteristic number 7 is faithfulness. This is the currency that you create. Okay, faithfulness is this essence. It's where your mind is locked into a truth about something, even though there's no evidence for it yet. So I got this product. I know I got something. Okay, we did the work. It's amazing. I know this is amazing. If anybody sees it, they love it. But now I only know 5 people that know about this. Where the millions of people, where the millions of dollars at? This is where we need faithfulness. Let me break it down. You got to believe in what you've done in this process and the energy of this work up to this point. So much so deeply that you start to move as if it's already true, even though you can't see it yet. So faith is this energetic leap that you take from something that you know to the thing, this energy, the system around your product, which is what your business is that you're creating. And you take that leap before you can see it. Now, mind you, we didn't start here. Most business programs try to start you on this part. I can't even start you here. We got to do all of that first. But now we have what we call faithfulness, or that diligence, because now you become so confident, so certain. You are the value. You know what you got now. It's not like I'm hoping and wishing that something happens to me. Okay. So you act like this all the time. When you act in alignment with this new identity, and you're starting to build systems and energy around this product that you got out here, every time you do that and show up for yourself and your business, you make a deposit in your own bank of self-trust. And it activates a universal law. Okay. When you show up consistently, it does not go unrewarded. What you do most frequently becomes your frequency. If you hold a frequency, it will materialize in the 3D where you can see it. That's it. It has to. Okay. So we don't need faith for things that we can see already. If you could already see it, you wouldn't need to be faithful. But I'm talking about you've come up with a masterpiece. You've done the thing. You like, oh my God, like here it is. But now where are the people? Where's all the people? You got to stay right here. And that's how you create currency, because you don't see it, but you see it. Okay, that's what faith is for. When you take a step, even though you can't see it. Okay, this is when your flywheel kicks into gear. Other people start locking in. Your business starts to take on a life of its own. Let me tell you why. Because when you're faithful, you show up consistently, show up like this, you do it again, you do it again. They hear your same message. You all the way outside every day. They see you on the thing every week. Yeah, they see you on the Zoom or whatever that is. Other people start to set their clocks by your energy. You become known for showing up, known for doing what you say, known for saying, and by the way, I got this thing, and I'm telling you about this thing right here. And then they'll be like, okay, you can become known for being consistent, for delivering excellence. This is where that transfer of energy occurs. It transfers from you to other humans. It's like a relay race, right? So you've been holding the baton: love, joy, peace, patience, kindness, goodness, doing all of that. And with faithfulness, this is when you hand the baton off to other customers. This is when other people outside of you, this idea that's been in your head that only you can see all this time, now they start to know and to trust you. They start to have that experience with you over time. They've seen you show up. They believe you because you believe you. They're like, well, this thing must be everything because she said it was everything. Hey, let me get 2 of those, please. They've seen you do this over and over and over again. That's faithfulness. Now they're ready to lean their weight on you. They have confidence in you. They're ready to tell somebody else about you. They're ready to pledge value or money to you. They're now judging you to be legitimate or of good quality. So they will now be loyal to you. That's what that word loyalty actually means. Worthy of me showing up and being consistent because they're worth it. They're saying it now, not you. It's a declaration. They're knowing that they're going to get something in the future that's good from you. So they're willing to move resources on your behalf. Okay. So you kept your promise to your own mission. You stayed faithful. You showed up and you delivered. And now people are going to start turning around and making promises and pledges and commitments and being faithful to you and this brand that you've created, this product that you've built. This is powerful. I don't know I'm just telling you how it works. You can do what you want to do. Okay. So you've shown through your energy and your outputs. Yes, I can do that for you. I'll take care of that for you. I got you. You show up like that. I built a product. I listened. Based on what you said, we put that in the thing. Based on what you said, now we've done it this way. Based on what I've heard from people, we're doing it like this. You're creating these amazing experiences for your audience so they can hear you where they want to hear you, meet you how they want to meet you. Okay, you said you didn't like my text was too long. So now I'm going to show up in a podcast format. You said you wanted to be over here. I'm not gonna make you go to Discord and everybody's on Instagram. You met people where they are and you gave them an amazing experience. So now they know you, they trust you. And that energy transfers to them. The word spreads, referrals happen, your reputation compounds. Now they're ready to pay you some money. Now you got multiple offers and you can make a decision about what you want to do and who you want to work with and do all of that. Okay. So faithfulness, that's what creates that energy exchange, that transfer, that transaction. Okay. Not because you manipulated anybody, not because you learned all some slick words of how to sell, but because you were faithful. This is an energetic signature. And that faithfulness creates that trust. And what do we say about trust? It comes through those moments of connection over and over and over again until you have patterns where I know what to expect from you. I feel connection every time. Every time. Okay. And guess what? Connection is the birthplace of all currency. Woo, y'all. You will never not make money if you show up in this way. Never not make money. But we got to commit to the process. Commit to becoming the greater, higher version of ourselves. So there's 2 more. Number 8 is meekness or humility, and number 9 is self-control. So meekness is what protects everything you've built. No ego about what you're presenting. No ego about it. That means boots on the ground. I'm down to earth. I'm talking to people and I'm accepting their feedback. Like, think about if you built the car and now you give it test drives. People get in the car and they're like, oh, I like this, but I don't like this. I wish this was like this. You can't be like, well, I spent years building this and that's the way I built it. And hold on. You're still taking feedback from your customer and even criticism because you're still submitted to the mission. You're still locked in. So you got to go through that test drive and honor other people and give them an experience that makes them feel seen and heard and understood. And dare I say honored. Okay. So meekness or humility keeps you locked into this energy of love that got you here in the first place. It protects you instead of you attaching value to praise or accolades or people telling you great or all the money that you get. Now, if you attach your value to that, now you got a problem. Now you're moving from ego, something outside of you. No. We worked too hard to get here. You stay right here. Humility. Appreciate y'all, but I'm just locked in. You hear a lot of successful people talk like this. They're not just saying that. They mean it. Okay, a lot of entrepreneurs lose everything because they get successful, they get a little praise, they make a little money, they start believing their own hype, start drinking their own Kool-Aid. They even start thinking they're better than people. They don't want to talk to nobody. They start, doing all of that. You lose coherence in your heart when you do that. And you could easily fall out of frequency because you either spiraling up or spiraling down. There's no middle ground. So when you have meekness or humility, I'm grateful for the success. I'm grateful for this money. I'm grateful people love what we're doing, but that is not who I am. We established who we were back then. We're still detached, y'all. We got all the stuff and we still detached from it, okay? I am the value. You can take all this today. Guess what? It's coming back because it's coming from me. It's coming from who I am in my core. This is the most powerful place you could be in, okay? So that allows you to stay humble and do all of that people talk about. It becomes a real thing. And then they'll love you even more, you know what I'm saying? But it protects you from losing everything that you work so hard to now experience in the 3D realm where people can see it and now they're telling you it's great and they're telling everybody and they're going crazy. You stay locked into what brought you to this place. It keeps you centered, keeps you in love. You stay in the frequency. Okay. The last one is self-control. This is where things go on autopilot. So self-control is to check the accuracy, control, the etymology of the word. It means to check the accuracy of, to verify, or to regulate something. That's what control means. So self-control is to check the accuracy of, to verify, and to regulate oneself. And to do so automatically. Okay. This is when we want to put our business onto systems. When you maintain habits that keep you in this energy and frequency over and over and over again. Not just I got a bag and then 2 years later, I'm broke again. Now you're looking for an investor again. Like, no. We put our business on systems, like doing maintenance on this car. We've been on this journey. We'll do maintenance on the car so it can continue to run properly in perpetuity, right? A self-sustaining business. Self-control is not got nothing to do with discipline. Like, okay, I got to do. No, it's not forcing yourself to do things that you hate. Self-control is a natural regulation. It keeps things on systems. It's natural. This is how nature works, right? Sun rises, sun sets. Leaves fall off the tree. We go through the seasons. The birds come. The bugs do what they got to do. There's natural maintenance here. So when you're living in this place, this protects all this love, joy, peace, patience, all the work that you've been doing to get to the point where you have something real that's out here in the world. The self-control keeps it working for you automatically. You don't have to force yourself to show up. You show up because it's who you are. You got a schedule, you got things, you got people, you got systems, and you just maintain and oversee the systems. You don't have to force yourself to be excellent. It's built into the system, and it flows from your coherent heart. And that's what makes your business self-sustaining. So when a bill comes in or something goes wrong, or we face something we never faced before, a client cancels, it's fine. You just process it, but you go back to your structure. We have a whole system in place that keeps us, we cool, we good. Everything's fine. Everything's fine. Okay? So I just gave y'all something nobody's ever heard before in the world, in life. This is how you build a business venture that is profitable, is sustainable, and all the things. I do need an organist. You know what I'm saying? I need a little soundboard where I can have the shop music playing and a choir to take us home at the end. I agree, Desta. I absolutely agree. So this is how we build a business that is sustainable. Y'all, I had to download. But because I've been teaching this in bits and pieces and all, and I'm like, okay, but this right here. So y'all, any questions before we jump up? I'm so late. I got two calls. I got to cancel one, and I got the other one at 3:30. So I'm fine. I got 6 minutes. If y'all got questions, 6 minutes. Dougie Fresh told y'all. Questions, comments, concerns, feedback, challenges, and personal story time. Y'all give me what you got. Anybody? Because I love a good all hearts and minds are clear. Go ahead.
Definitely always inspirational. I'm feeling this energy that this keep, like I have to stay in it. Staying in the zone. This is good for me. This is really good just to kind of hear this every day. And like I said, it's not different from what you're saying, but you're trying to keep finding what is going to work. Because I think you realize if we're not moving in this direction, we obviously don't believe it, or we don't believe it's going to work for us. One of those two. Mm-hmm. And you're always constantly trying to catch us where we are. And I appreciate that, because I don't know if it's what they say about billboards. You got to see a billboard. What is it, like 8 times, 7 times before you make a purchase or something? Mm-hmm. But I like the way you keep moving us in this direction and give us analogies after analogies with products and services that we know and trust. Mm-hmm. And we don't know why we buy the things, but you research it and you help us to understand this is working because they're working it in this way. You are the product. Mm-hmm. I don't know if you've seen that new documentary. I just started to watch it on Netflix yesterday, which is, it just talks about what's going on with algorithms I forget the name of it, but it's talking about how our attention is the product. Them being able to predict how we're moving is the product.
That's right.
And this is what you've been telling us.
And we're taking our power back. You know what I'm saying? Like, no.
Yes, you are. And you keep saying that the algorithms work for us. Mm-hmm. And we've been looking at that as a bad thing, as if we could go backwards, as if we could go back before the age of AI. It's impossible. It's only getting more in depth. And if we don't stop fighting the current, we're not going to be able to swim. And I appreciate you just keep showing us, like, they work for you. They work for you. Mm-hmm. Like, let's work it. You know, it's like a man that cheats on you. You mad at him for cheating on you, but now he's trying so hard to show you that he's trustworthy. Instead of you being upset, let him show him. Let him pay the bills. Let him give you his GPS. Let him try to win your trust back. Don't fight it. Don't keep being mad at him. Let him try to re-edify himself back in your life. And I like this feeling that I am now taking this thing that they're using to control me and figure out what boots and, sway boots I want to buy. Now I'm like, no, I'm going to use this to take my business to the next level. So I like this information. So I appreciate it.
Information transformation brought to you with entertainment on the side, a side of entertainment. Thank you for sharing that. I totally agree. And yes, this is my job. My job is to do this in a way that makes you want to listen again. You know what I'm saying? And I'm doing my job. So I'm glad that it's working. Thank you for sharing that. Miss Rowe in the comments, she said, not sure what number it was, but that's what she is today. Stop worrying about the money you don't have and don't stay in that energy. Yes, we're not focused on the external. That's joy. Just focus on the present moment. It brings your focus into the present moment, and you get locked in right here. Well, I got what I need for today. Like honestly, sometimes when it's like a money issue, or like, we just jumped off the job, or the way we used to make money and now we're in between before we get to the new part, is you literally have to train yourself. Well, did you eat today? Yeah. Will bills pay right now? Yes. You have to stay in the present moment and find the joy. Not like, okay, I'm here, but I'm nervous because 5 days left, 4 days left. Like, you can't live like that anymore. They programmed us. They took our power from us, y'all. It's capitalism. 1492. I'm telling you, they took it from us, and we could take it back. But we have to be intentional. And that's why I give you so much neuroscience. I'm not just talking us talk. I know it sounds amazing and sounds entertaining, but y'all, this is like real life stuff. So thank y'all for sharing notes and stuff in the chat. Anybody else?
Thank you for the refocusing.
Come on, Kenny. We ain't got time. We got to get this water together. Did you see that it's a water bankruptcy? The world is in water bankruptcy. What does that even mean?
Dog, I can't. I took, like, at this point with the science stuff, I want to say all last year I just focused on music. I figured it out, and it's uncomfortable because it's like if I kept sitting in that and constantly learning still, no, I figured it out. So like I kind of took a break, and now where I'm popping back in on the science note.
And your brain is doing the thing.
Notebook LM dropped, and I was back in it. So it's like you kind of have to just give yourself time to digest what you process, and that's the thing. So now I have all of these other things that I can create and make and stuff like that. So it's just perfect that Notebook LM, it's changed everything, dog. Like I have full audio overviews, slides, everything is there. And I have like an interactive representative for my company now, to where I can literally send it in an email and someone can actually talk to that system to be there anymore. Like I actually created automation for it. So it's like anytime somebody has, hey Kenny, can this clean X, Y, and Z? Talk to the thing. Talk to the thing. You can ask all the questions. It's going to answer.
Brilliant. That's brilliant. That's actually what we're going to talk about tomorrow. Is these are some of the levers that we need so that we can leverage our time instead of, okay, now I'm an entrepreneur and I'm going to make it, but now I got to work 79 hours a day to, we don't have to do all of that. Automation. Brilliant. And giving yourself that, it's the balance between this energy and knowing what you need and making sure your system, you got to stay at peace, at rest, at all the things I've been saying every day. And that's like critical. It's like if your car runs hot, I don't care about the features, I don't care what else is the car is going to stop. It's not going to run. You got to keep it in that place of, this is like energetic, entrepreneurial homeostasis. Okay. That's what I just taught y'all today. And then tomorrow we're going to talk about these levers of what systems need to be in our business, and automation is a big, big part of that. So you already ahead of the game. Love it. Anybody else? Oh, well, if not, all hearts and minds are clear. I gotta go. I'm out. Pew! See y'all.